not supposed to loop like that. My bad, my bad. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. You are tuned in to the Urban Conservative on the Leon Black Independent Media. My name is Chaz Neal. I'm going to get into some things today that I've been really needing to talk about in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The first thing that we're going to discuss is a situation that happened just a couple days ago at the Minneapolis City Council meeting. Afterwards, there was a vote, and I'm going to break it all down to you because there's a couple of videos, but there's things that I want to show you first. So let's get into that.
What does it mean to live in purpose? You know, I hear a lot of people say if you don't stand for something that you'll fall for anything. But what I see is a lot of people not standing for anything.
All right, so let's get into it.
Support is pouring in for Minneapolis City Council Vice President Andrea Jenkins. On Sunday, a video posted online showed a group of protesters holding her hostage during a Pride Day event. The protesters forced Jenkins to sign a list of demands before allowing her to leave. Jenkins says that she was traumatized by the group for 90 minutes. WCCO's Reg Chapman talked with community leaders and a candidate for city council.
Nobody gonna let me go home.
Minneapolis City Council Vice President Andrea Jenkins says she attempted to defuse a disagreement with an activist by walking away, but she ended up being surrounded by a group of people and wasn't able to leave.
It was Neanderthal. It was intimidation tactics. It was beneath anything that I've ever seen.
A Mother's Love founder Lisa Clemens says she and Jenkins do not always see eye to eye on issues, but she stands with her.
You hold somebody hostage for nearly 2 hours.
Just step over so she can't pull off.
Force them, coerce them into signing a bogus document that is worth nothing but the paper it's written on.
Print your name and date it.
And you believe you got your voice heard? Absolutely not.
This right here, this is the people's victory.
Donald Hooker Jr. says the ordeal started with him asking Jenkins about defunding police and returning George Floyd Square to the people when things escalated.
As a politician, she needs to take accountability for what she's done in the last year. And the fact that City Council has not passed any legislation like community control of the police. City Council is just giving them more money.
Because there was a way to be heard, and that was not the way.
Carmen Means is executive director of Central and Bryan Neighborhoods. She is running for city council.
They have a right to be enraged. They have a right to be suspicious, to operate with a healthy suspicion. But what you don't have a right to do is be violent. And that what we seen on that video, in my opinion, was very violent.
Police violence is bad. Community violence is just as bad. I'm being violent.
Yeah, but what's that right?
Means supports diverse views but believes what the video shows crossed the line.
I think in that video, we've seen a lack of care of humanity. We've seen a lack of care of a Black trans woman that is responsible for some of the liberations that our trans community are able to enjoy up to now.
Reg Chapman, WCCO 4 News.
Now, I don't agree with that situation is either, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with Jenkins. Now, this happened during a Pride, Take Back Pride event in Minneapolis.
every day, fighting for my life. Every day, fighting for my life. Fighting for my life. Fighting for my bread.
I am back.
Seed thought was rock.
Thank you
I
to
think
the
not.
studio. Thank you, studio, for doing that. But as we were talking about like civil discourse, yeah, that's just not cool. But I'm gonna get into the next video, and because this one is really, I want people's opinions.
Hey, how you doing? You don't know me? Hey, how you doing? You don't know me now, or?
DJ, don't get in my face. You too close.
I'm not too close to you. Is there a reason why you're voting? Why do you keep voting to break the supply depot? Don't put your hands on me, sir. Sir, don't put your hands on me. Why do you hate indigenous folks?
Really?
Yeah, why do you hate indigenous folks?
Indigenous folks?
No, I don't
Why
hate
are you
indigenous
lying
folks.
to
You're
that?
you're
Why are you
poisoning
lying
people.
to- lying
You're
to
poisoning
that-
people.
Hey, you too close to my
No,
face.
you keep walking in front of me. No. We got it all recorded. You can chill out. I don't know who the fuck you are. You can chill out. Hold what? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm telling you, don't get in my face like that.
I ain't getting in your face.
I'm telling you.
Yo, you don't feel like you have
telling you.
anything to talk about? Did you just think this is okay? Why are you treating our indigenous brothers and sisters like this?
You better back up.
Huh?
You better back up.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna
got
hit
the
me or
wrong-
something? You keep acting like you're gonna hit me.
You got the wrong council member. I'm
Okay,
telling you.
I got the
You
wrong
better get
council
out
member.
my
Tell me
face.
about it. Tell me, why do you keep hurting the community? Why don't you care about
keep
anybody?
lying to the
No one's
community?
lying. You're the
Why
one
are
lying.
you lying
You
to
are
the
a
community?
fucking liar.
Tell them the
You are a
truth.
terrible person.
Don't put your
You keep
finger
supporting the cops.
in,
You
and if
keep
you
supporting
spit
the
on me,
cops.
You better not spit on me.
Oh,
I'm telling you now.
First of all, I didn't spit on you. No, you better give me my phone. You're gonna give me my phone. You're gonna give me my phone. You got some disrespect. Okay. You keep playing. You keep playing.
I'm not the one.
You keep playing. You on my phone. No. No, come on, what you doing?
Dude.
What you doing? You just fucking assaulted me. What the fuck you doing? Yes, you did. You broke my phone. You just broke my phone. You broke the case on my phone. And it's all recorded. It's all recorded. Sir, get the fuck out my face.
I'm telling you right now to move away or you're going to go to jail. You want to go to jail?
Go away.
These people are still.
I'm asking you to move. We're leaving.
V-Dots, why you hate indigenous folks?
Move.
Who are you?
Sergeant Blackie, now move away. Leave her alone.
She just assaulted
No,
me.
you assaulted her.
I
I'm
did not
asking you to
assault
leave.
her.
Move.
I have it on
I'm
video,
asking
so
you to
you can keep lying.
Perfect. Go ahead, keep moving.
We gotta get our stuff.
V-Dots, why do you hate indigenous folks? Why do you think it's okay to destroy the supply depot? Huh?
Let's go. You need to leave.
I have it on recording.
All right.
Huh?
Then show them your recording.
I didn't spit on you.
You're going this way.
I didn't spit on you.
Dude, let's go.
Let's go.
Why is it okay for her to assault? Why is it okay for her to assault people? She is fucking up the supply
touch me.
depot.
Don't touch
She
me.
hates indigenous
Get out.
folks. How is this okay?
Hey. Seriously? It's going to be a cop problem now. Get your hands off me. I'm trading.
Why is it okay? Why is it okay? Why is it okay? It's all recording. It's all recorded.
Now.
It's all recorded. Okay, it's all recorded. Yep, I got the phone too with the broken case. Come on. You didn't grab the phone while I was recording. Everyone saw it. I'll see you on the evening news. Out here assaulting civilians while you're destroying the indigenous community. I'll see you on the fucking news.
Out the building.
Yep.
Out the building now.
So we just had Councilmember Vitas snatch my phone from my hand after she just took a vote to destroy the roof depot in the Little Earth community. And she just assaulted me and then said I assaulted her. So anyway, I gotta grab my shit. All right, so
Wow. I have so many thoughts. And I'm gonna break it down piece by piece. You know, I am an activist that is by any means necessary. That means I believe in civil disobedience. But the things that have been coming out, you know, for the part that bugs me is how are we supposed to be uniting people, and we can't even have a civil discussion on what goes on in our communities, right? Now, I'm going to talk about DJ Donald Hooker. I have a serious issue when it comes to, because here's my thing. Why are you confronting a Black woman, regardless if she's a public official or not? You are a man. Regardless if you want to go by they, them, you are still a man. I don't do the whole pronouns things, and I know I'm probably going to get canceled for some of this shit, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck anymore because it needs to be talked about. Things like this need to be talked about because what happened is not okay. It's not okay. And this is a man that is facing trial on a 4th-degree assault for spitting at police officers, allegedly spitting at police officers in Brooklyn Center. So I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, you know, and I've seen the little white liberals, progressives, and we're going to get into that some more too, because we're going to talk about these bills that are in the Minnesota legislation, and Minnesota has the trifecta. So you don't see them out here. Oh, I know you disagree. And that's my producer, the founder of the Leon Black. You know, but that's my thing of it is, because how are we supposed to get to being civil if we have situations like this, right? Because this isn't just once, it's not just twice, because why is anybody going to want to sit there and have a human conversation about change and reform when you can find things like this out on the internet, which is this is what people don't know. That is a mall that is in whatever you want to call it, strip mall, whatever area in downtown, that is next to the city building, City Hall in Minneapolis. So I feel like a lot of this was set up as well. Not saying that VTOL was included in it, but I do feel like a lot of it is set up because as somebody that was there for a month and a half in front of these buildings, and anytime we went in there was automatically security was everywhere. But there's so much more to this story. And I want to show you, here's an article that was posted last night by the Star Tribune. And it is, as you can see, whoops, I took back that. Thank you, John Till. No. See, that's why we need a producer in building. But as you see, is that 3 Minneapolis City Council members filed police reports accusing activists of intimidation. Council member Latricia Vitas says she feared for her safety while being accosted on a Skyway escalator. That is the video that you just seen. That is Vitas. That is Emily Koski. That is racist ass, negrophobia having Michael Rainville. 3 Minneapolis City Council members have filed police reports following a council meeting where they say activists physically threatened and intimidated them for not voting their way, including one incident captured on video in which a council member said she was briefly trapped on an escalator in the Skyway and feared for her safety. No one was physically harmed Thursday, and several incidents stemming from activist opposition to the city's planned demolition of a vacant building, citing racial justice and environmental concerns. They disrupted the city council meeting, shouting profanities and reaching over the dais where council members sat and banged on walls and doors outside of the offices of Mayor Jacob Frey. I agree with everything. I watched that whole city council meeting. Everything they did there, I agree with. The profanities, I even agree with the profanities. When it comes down to protecting and saving Black and brown lives, I don't. The language doesn't bother me. By Friday afternoon, 3 council members, Vital, Rainville, and Koski, had filed police reports that were being investigated for potential crimes ranging from misdemeanor assault to terroristic threats. One activist also filed a complaint against a council member for damaging his cell phone case, which is the same video we just seen of Donald DJ Hooker from TCC for J and radio host from KFAI. And also he works for the city as an employee at the library. Just want to put that out there. All of these so-called people that hate our government, that hate our laws, but yet work for the same people that they're supposed to be working against. Make that make sense to me. Thursday's events highlight a sentiment growing among many Minneapolis officials that some activists have crossed the line from advocacy to outright intimidation in a way that's unacceptable in public discourse. Would we allow this if it were far-right, pro-gun, anti-abortion people? Of course not. Frey, who has received death threats, said Friday, "It's wrong, period. No matter the underlying substance of the issue, it's wrong. And people should be speaking up on it, no matter their stance on the particular issue." The particular issue Thursday was a dispute over the city-owned Roof Depot in the East Phillips neighborhood. The city wants to demolish the building as part of an expansion of a nearby public works facility. The plan has galvanized some neighbors who complain of historic environmental injustice for a community that is heavily populated by people of color. They also fear demolition will stir up pollution in this site. Earlier in the week, a group of activists cut through fencing and occupied the area before police ejected them. On yesterday, a judge temporarily halted the planned demolition. A last-ditch effort by a minority of council members to scuttle the city's plans failed on Thursday. After one such vote, more than a dozen activists inside council chambers disrupted the meeting, prompting a recess while security cleared the room. The most tense incident came well after that, when Vital walked from City Hall through the Skyway to U.S. Bank Plaza to get lunch. She was approached by DJ Hooker, a man known to Vital and others. In 2021, you've seen the video. Hooker was among a group of activists who blocked a car with Council President Andrea Jenkins inside for 2 hours until she signed papers agreeing to their demands. Hooker, who recorded the incident with Jenkins, also recorded the encounter with Vital and shared it on social media Thursday, which has about 5,000 views. The video shows the camera inches from Vital's face on several occasions as she walks under the escalator from a ground floor restaurant to return to the Skyway level. At least 5 times she tells him he is too close. The accounts of Vital and Hooker differ slightly after that as they both ascend the escalator, with Hooker above her and an aide and a plainclothes police officer below. Vital said Hooker stopped at the landing at the top, creating a scenario where the escalator was carrying her toward him. Video showed him calling her a liar, using "You're a terrible person," he yells at the camera, bobs back and forth toward her face. "I could feel my feet slipping under me," she said in an interview Friday, emphasizing that the escalator is exposed in the plaza's indoor atrium. "I don't know how long it lasted, but it felt like forever. Are you going to sit around and wait for someone to punch you in the face?" The camera contacted her face and she grabbed it. In an interview, Hooker disputed that she advanced on me before the top of the escalator. After the video becomes a skirt and a brief tug of war over the phone, a plainclothes Minneapolis police sergeant intercedes and backs Hooker off, asking him if he wants to go to jail and identifying himself. Building security eventually escorts Hooker away. Police records from Vital's complaint indicate it's being investigated for the possible offenses of fifth-degree assault, a misdemeanor, and disorderly conduct. Hooker said he did nothing wrong. Minneapolis police and city attorney's office declined to comment. Vital says she's twice seen violence up close, once when an armed person invaded her home and another time when she witnessed a relative being shot. This triggered that trauma, and I was traumatized again. The complaints filed by Koski and Rainville were from the city council meeting disrupted by activists with several walking through a fabric belt. Okay, yeah, I don't agree with that one at all. I don't agree with that one at all. I watched that video from the council meeting. You know, if we're not allowed to accost you in public, then I think you would be better okay for it to be in a council chambers. You can't have it both ways. But I want people to understand is that the legislation that we have, the representatives that we have, doesn't mean that they're, because they say they're our allies, doesn't mean that they're going to do the right thing. So I want people to also to pay very, very, very close attention to that. So what I'm going to get into next is some bills here in Minnesota. And the first one, because we're going to continue talking about this, but the first one is, and this one really shocked me with everything that we're seeing going on in Ohio, and we've seen in Flint, Michigan, Jackson, Mississippi, is like to get rid of bottled water is really a trip for me. This bill right here, House File 1857, which was introduced by Sidney Jordan. Yeah, I don't know how to get it any larger. Let me see if I can, though. Let's see if I can get it larger. Oh, yep, I can. All right. So this bill right here, as you see, House File 1857, is a prohibiting sale of bottled water. So subdivision, a manufacturer, wholesaler, or retailer is prohibited from selling or offering for sale bottled water in Minnesota. So basically the meaning bottled water means water contained in a formed or molded container that is comprised primarily of plastic, resin, or sealed and holds less than 2 liters when full. Water means any of the following if intended for human consumption: natural spring or well water, water from municipal or private utility systems or other resources, excluding distilled, deionized or mineral water, carbonated, sparkling, or tonic water, or water to which flavoring is added. Water does not include products that are not marked as water. That's crazy as hell. A manufacturer, wholesaler, or retailer that violates Subdivision 1 is subject to a civil penalty of $50 for each prepackaged sellable unit offered for sale, up to a maximum penalty of $500, and may be enjoined from the violations. The Attorney General may bring an action in the name of the state in a court of competent jurisdiction to recover civil penalties or for injunctive relief as provided in this subdivision. The Attorney General may accept an assurance of this continuance of acts in violation of Subdivision 1 in the manner provided. So if this passes, this would be in effect, you see that January 1st, 2024, that we would literally not be able to buy bottled water in the state of Minnesota. I don't drink tap water. So where are we supposed to get our water? Let's say we have a water crisis here in Minnesota and we can't have bottled water. What if that happened in Ohio right now? right? And this was legal, and they couldn't get bottled water. What would go on? What would happen to those people? They would be sick and die because where are they going to get their water?
Because nobody,
Where are they
I
going to
feel
get
like,
their water?
I'm not going to say nobody.
You know what I'm saying?
People don't stand
We
on
definitely gotta
what they believe in anymore. They'll say it, but they don't mean it.
we definitely got to think about where we're going to get our water supply. Yeah, right. It is going to be the new gold. And that's what's crazy. It is going to be the new gold. What is it? So we're going to get, I'm going to again show you some more bills of what's going on in our legislation session. So, as you see, here is all the bills. I'm gonna go up to the top. There's a lot. So this is already passed. This is passed. That's passed. That's passed. That's passed. Let's see if I can find some. That's passed. Red flag law, conversion therapy prohibiting. That's passed.
What does it mean to live in purpose?
Lead. Oh, let's see what this is. So, lead drinking water service lines creates grant programs to help municipalities fund the inventory and replacement of lead service lines. So they want to ban water, bottled water, but then they don't want to fix the lines. This is past restoration of voting rights. I thought this one was kind of weird. Race definition modified relating to hairstyles and textures. I think this has already been signed into law. Yeah, effective date 8/1/20. He approved it already. So he signed that. See, now this one too, putting menstrual, whatever, tampon products in boys' bathrooms. Look at all these people that signed on to this shit. There ain't shit on here about homelessness, Emmett Till Victims Recovery Program, Juneteenth. Crazy. Credit for parents of stillborn children. Repeal of statutes and rules regarding abortions, adult use cannabis, voter pre-registration, Meals on Wheels, gender affirming care. Let's see what this one is about. So, gender affirming healthcare and out-of-state law interferences prevented, use of subpoenas to gather information prevented, child custody and child welfare provisions modified, and warrant arrest and extraditions provisions amended. What is this about? Relating to children, preventing the use of so they're basically saying that a law of another state that authorizes a state agency to remove a child from the child's parent or guardian because the parent allowed the child to receive gender affirming health care. Also, basically, they're just saying you can't get that information to take a child out of. I agree with that a little bit. We shouldn't be what we do with our children if it isn't grooming behavior or sex trafficking or any. I don't know why we always trying to interfere. Prosecutor initiated resentencing, MFib, Hospice. So this one, no, I don't think this might not be it. Nope, that ain't it. Positive Pregnancies Grant Program. Prohibiting certain fees by landlords, restricting landlord entry.
What I see is a lot of people not standing for anything and falling for something.
So, except for actual services rendered for an optional service offered by the landlord, a landlord should not charge a tenant any non-refundable fee in relation to residential. Oh, so this won't even go into effect till next year anyway. So that don't even really matter. Repairs for residential rental units. Teachers. Lead in schools. Why are we still doing bills about lead? But I just wanted y'all to see that's the type of things that we are going through in the state of Minnesota this legislative session. Right. So I'm going to be doing more of these as time goes on. So please pay attention and tune back into the Urban Conservative. Because we will be bringing you the latest news on the streets, everything that's going on in America in our involving communities. With that being said, win or fail, freedom or jail, heaven or hell, y'all already know what it is. Wish me well.
That you'll fall for anything. But what I see is a lot of people not standing for anything.
Every day, fighting for my life. Every day, fighting for my life. Fighting for my life. Fighting for my bread. Grew from the seed you thought was rock. I think not. Fire bred desire to rise above denial. To rise from former ashes to face new trial. Trial or triumph. I am enough. Trial to triumph. I am enough. Every day I fight for my life. Every day fighting for my life.